Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make your very own peacock wall hanging. The peacock gives any manor house or garden elegance and grandeur, so why not bring it into your own home? Before we get started, here are a few things that you will need. A stitch marker, a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a sewing needle and a tape measure. You will also need a 30cm diameter ring, ideally of a small width so we can crochet around the piece and for our peacock to sit upon, and 2 white pipe cleaners which will act as part of the crest. I have used double knit wool throughout the project. I've used navy blue sparkle yarn for the head and the body, a plain navy blue yarn for the tail. However, this piece will be covered by feathers, so if you have a wool of another colour that you want to use up, this is a good time to use it. I've used cream for the beak, black for the eye, and white for the markings on the head. I have chosen 5 bright colours for my feathers: purple, green, orange, yellow and blue. This bright blue I have used for the crest. And lastly, I have used beautiful multicoloured yarn for the barbule. Yes, it is a word and I did have to Google it. And this is the outer part of the peacock feather that sprays or fans out, but when closed it forms an elegant peak. If you want to use any other colours, you're more than welcome to. I've also used hairspray in order to help shape my barbules. You can use a fabric stiffener that you can get from any craft shop, but if you were going to use the hairspray like I am, then please wear gloves and a face mask and do it in a well ventilated room or with an outside door open. Basically, just use your common sense. So we will now start with the fun part, the peacock feathers. You'll be doing lots of these, so keep at it. So we're starting with the extra large feather and we'll make 4 of these. I'm using purple as my first colour and I'll be using the other colours in the exact same order for the rest of the feathers. So we'll make a magic ring and put 9 single crochets into the magic ring. Okay, we're now going to turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. So we're going to hold that stitch there and we're not going to complete it just yet. We're now going to get the green yarn, which I'm using as my second colour, and we'll complete that stitch by pulling that through. So now if you imagine this work as a semicircle, we are now going to work in the straight edge of the semicircle. So we're going to single crochet in the next gap along. We're now going to put 2 half double crochets into the gap in the centre just beyond the magic ring. We're now going to do another single crochet into the other side of the semicircle. Okay, and there should be 4 stitches there. So we're now going to continue around in the curved part of the semicircle. We're going to half double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Okay, we're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. We're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. we're going to double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, okay, and now we're going to half double crochet in the next 10. So we'll go over the 6 stitches here, which are in the purple, and then over the new 4 stitches that you made at the beginning of this row. Okay, so we're just going to complete that. We're going to add the extra 4 stitches in as our new row. Okay, we're going to hold that there like we did before, and we're going to have a colour change. And we're going to use orange as our 3rd colour. Okay, so we're going to double crochet in the next 3 stitches. I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. I'm going to double crochet in the next 3. Okay, we're now going to treble crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. Going to treble crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to do 2 treble crochets in the next 2 stitches. Okay, we're going to treble crochet in the next stitch, 2 treble crochets in the next stitch, treble crochet in the next stitch. We're going to double crochet in the next 3. Two double crochets in the next stitch, double crochet in the next 3, now we're going to half double crochet in the next 4. Okay, in that last stitch we'll hold it there, and we're going to change the colour to yellow. Okay, we're now going to single crochet in the next 3. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat this 8 times all the way around. Okay, in this last stitch we're going to hold it there. Then with our 5th and final colour is the bright blue. Pull that through to complete the stitch. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. We're going to double crochet in the next 2. Okay, we're now going to double crochet in the next 2. And then do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Okay, so we're now going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. We'll treble crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to do two treble crochets in the next stitch. Okay, here we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And we're now going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. Then a treble crochet in the next stitch. 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. Okay, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And double crochet in the next 2. And we'll repeat that 2 more times. We're going to double crochet in the next 2. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 5. We're now going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. And we're going to half double crochet in that last stitch. We're now going to slip stitch in the next stitch there. We're going to turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to single crochet 2 together. And we're going to do that 3 times. We're going to turn our work and chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet 3 together. We're now going to tie off. Make sure you leave a long piece of excess yarn there so we can use that to sew our work into the tail at the end. Okay, we're just going to tidy the back now. So cut all your strands away. And what we're going to do, we're just basically going to sew all the ends together so they don't come adrift. So I won't show you how to do this for all the other feathers, just do it once you finish the feather, just tidy up your work at the back. Trim all the excess yarn, apart from obviously the long one that you're going to need to sew to the tail. Okay. So we've made 1 extra large feather, now we need to do 3 more. So for the next step, we're going to do 5 large feathers. So we're going to create a magic ring in the purple yarn, and we're going to put 6 single crochets into that magic ring. Okay, we're going to turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. Okay, we're going to hold it there because we're going to do a colour change. So we're going to get our green yarn and pull that through the stitch to complete it. And as we did before, we're going to go across the top of the semicircle again. So into that next stitch, we're going to do a single crochet. Beyond the magic ring, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So we're going to find that gap there. We're going to create 2 half double crochets into that same stitch there. And then we're going to single crochet on the other side of that imagined semicircle straight pot. Okay, so we're now going to continue and we'll single crochet in the next 5 stitches. We're now going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Now I'm going to do single crochet in the next 5. And now we're going to do half double crochet in the next 4. Okay, we're going to hold that stitch there. We're going to complete it with the orange yarn, our 3rd colour. We're going to half double crochet in the next 6. We're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 6. And now we're going to single crochet in the next 4. Now hold that there and then finish that stitch with the yellow yarn. So we're now going to single crochet in the next 3. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. I'm going to do that 5 times all the way around. In that last stitch we'll hold it there. Then we're going to change to the bright blue, complete that stitch there. Okay, so we're now going to half double crochet in the next stitch. We'll do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. We'll repeat that again, so half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the next. We're now going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. We'll do that twice. So double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next. Okay, so now going to treble crochet in the next stitch. Two treble crochets in the next. Now going to chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook. Now going to do 2 treble crochets in the next stitch. Treble crochet in the next stitch. We're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, double crochet in the next. Do that twice. So 2 double crochets in the next stitch and a double crochet in the next. and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next, and do that again. So 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next. So now we're going to half double crochet in the next 2, and then 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, and then half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, we're now going to slip stitch in the next stitch there. I'm going to turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. We'll turn our work and chain 1, single crochet 3 together. Okay, and then we're going to tie off. Okay, remember to tidy up your ends there. Okay. Okay, so now we want to make 5 all together. Okay, now for the medium feather, we're going to start with a purple yarn, making a magic ring and putting 5 single crochets into that magic ring. Then we're going to turn our work and chain 1. We're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. And this last stitch will hold it there. Now we're going to get the green yarn, and we'll complete that stitch by pulling it through. And like with the others, we'll go into that side stitch there with a single crochet. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochets in that hole just beyond the magic ring. And then another single crochet on the other side of that. Now going into the semicircle, we're going to single crochet in the next 4. We're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Single crochet in the next 4. And then half double crochet in the next 4. Okay, holding that stitch there, we're going to join with the orange yarn. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 5. We're going to do 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Going to half double crochet in the next 5. Now we're going to single crochet in the next 4. Okay, we're going to hold it there, and then we're going to complete that stitch with the yellow yarn. Now going to single crochet in the next two, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we're going to do that 6 times all the way around. In that last stitch we'll hold that there, and then change for our 5th colour, the bright blue. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch. We're now going to half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the next, and we'll repeat that 3 times. We're now going to double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Now going to chain 2, and then single crochet in the second chain from the hook. We're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, now I'm going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, and we'll do that 3 times. Okay, we're now going to single crochet in the next 3. We're now going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. And we're just going to single crochet in those last 2 stitches. We'll slip stitch in the next stitch, turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 4. We're going to single crochet 2 together. We'll turn our work. Now we're going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. Turn our work and chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet 3 together. And here we'll tie off. And that's your medium feather done. We want to do 4 of those. And now for the small feather. With purple yarn, we're going to create a magic ring, and we're just going to do 3 single crochets into that magic ring. We're going to turn our work and chain 1, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. And that last stitch will hold it there, and we'll change to green, pulling that through the stitch. We're going to single crochet in that side gap there. We're going to do 2 half double crochets in the little gap just beyond the magic ring. We're now going to single crochet in the gap next to it there. Now we'll work in those 6 stitches we've made. So we're going to single crochet in the next 2. Going to do 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. Okay, we're now going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. In that last stitch we'll hold it there and we'll change to orange. We're now going to single crochet in the next 3. Going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2. Going to single crochet in the next 3. We're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next 2. Going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Hold that stitch there, complete it with the yellow yarn. And for this round we're going to single crochet in the next 3. And then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And we'll do that 4 times. Okay, the last stitch will hold it there, and then we're going on our 5th colour, the bright blue, and we're going to start by half double crocheting in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the next, and we'll repeat that again. So half double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 half double crochets in the next. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Now 2 double crochets in the next. We're going to chain 2, single crochet in the second chain from the hook. We're now going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Double crochet in the next. So now we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch and a half double crochet in the next. And we'll do that again. Oops. So 2 half double crochets in this stitch and a half double crochet in the next. We're now going to single crochet in the next 8 stitches. Okay, we're now going to slip stitch in the next stitch, turn our work and chain 1. We're now going to single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the next 4, and now we're going to single crochet 2 together, turn our work and chain 1, and now we're going to single crochet 2 together 3 times. Turn our work, chain 1, and then single crochet 3 together. Okay, and now we're going to tie off. Okay, and we want to make 3 of these small feathers. And now we've made all 16 feathers of varying sizes, we can now add the barbules. This is really simple and you can use any colour wool, but I love this wool as it has 2 tones and it has varying colours throughout. So as you can see, I'm using the width of my hand to measure the length of these strands. You can use something else if you wish to, but as you can see, I am wrapping the wool around my hand. For this large feather, I'm wrapping it around 50 times so then I can get 50 pieces of yarn. So as I've just said, the extra large feather will require 50 strands. The large feather will require 34 strands, for the medium feather 30, and for the small feather 22. Okay, once you've done that, you take it off your hand, get your pair of scissors and just cut up one side. Okay, so now I will show you how to attach these onto your feather. We're going to leave the base of the feather clear and work in the stitches all the way around. Okay, so we're going to go into that first stitch there, get our piece of yarn, fold it in half. We're going to get our hook and then we're going to pull that yarn partially through like so. With the hook, we're going to grab the two ends and pull them through that loop. Okay, so we'll do that again into the next stitch. We'll get a piece of yarn, going to go in the middle of it, pull it partially through, and then pull the other two ends through it. Do a few more of those. So again, pull it partially through, and then you're pulling it through to create a knot. Okay. So going through the middle, pulling through, and then pulling through the two ends. And you're basically doing this all the way around and for all of your feathers. So I'd advise, if you pre-cut all these bits of wool, sit in front of your TV, put your TV series on, put a film on, and you just basically attach all these pieces together. It's tedious work, but it's very easy. Okay, and once all of these pieces are attached, this is the effect you should have. Okay, the yarn's obviously a bit floppy, which is why we're going to hairspray or stiffen it with a fabric stiffener. And as you can see, it's just easy to shape just how we want it. Okay, and it looks just like a peacock feather. So once you have finished attaching the barbules to your feathers, we are ready to stiffen them. As I mentioned before at the beginning, please use your common sense. If you are unsure of how your body or lungs will react to lots of hairspray, then by all means use an alternative method to stiffen your yarn. You can use a fabric stiffener or a glue and mortar solution. Any of these you can get from a craft shop. So if you are going to use hairspray, then make sure you have an open window or the room is well ventilated, that you are wearing a face mask and a pair of gloves, only so that you don't get stuck to the yarn. And please make sure that there are no children or pets around when you do this. Again, just use your common sense. So with my glove and face mask on, I am ready to go. I've put down an old plastic mat to protect my floor, and I would advise you do the same. Okay, and you'll actually notice that I have forgotten to put my second glove on, but I will put that on very soon after this feather, I believe. So you basically want to spray on the yarn on the outside. You haven't got to spray the actual feather, just the outside, and you want to do that on both sides. You just want to coat all that yarn in hairspray or fabric stiffener. Okay, and you can use as much as you like of it. Okay, and then with your ideally gloved hand, you basically just want to shape those strands into the position. You want to leave it to dry overnight so it has time to dry. Okay, and you basically just want to shape that into the peacock feather. Okay, you'll have time at the end when it is dry just to trim any pointy bits or any bits which look a bit out of place. So adding a bit more. There's never enough hairspray for these things. I'm just going to move that out of the way so I've got room for the other 15. Okay, as you can see, just liberally putting it all over, front and back. Make sure you are giving each feather a good coating just to ensure that the feathers will keep their shape. And make sure that you give yourself plenty of rest breaks if you feel that you need them. Please don't overdo it and make sure you get some air. And once these are all done, what we're going to do is just leave them overnight until they're dry, and you will notice that the feathers will just keep that shape when you pick them up. Okay, and once they are dry, you can see that this is what it should be looking like. Those strands aren't going anywhere. Okay, and they've kept their shape nicely. So this top part, that is what we're going to sew onto the tail. So the rest of the feather will be untouched. Okay, and if you can see that there are any strands out of place, just give them a little snip. Just tidy up those edges if you need to. Okay, and now we can get started on the rest of the peacock. So we're going to begin with the tail, and I'm using navy yarn, but as this piece will be covered by the feathers, you can use any colour. We want the tail to drop down approximately 23 centimetres. We'll start at the bottom about 30 centimetres across, and then we'll slowly decrease until we reach 10 centimetres across at the top. It doesn't have to be those exact measurements, but they are a rough guide. So let's get started on this tail. So we're going to create a slip knot, and we're going to chain 42. Okay, so we're now going to half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. Okay, we're now going to half double crochet in the next 39. Okay, we're now going to turn our work and chain 2. We're now going to half double crochet 2 together. And now we're going to half double crochet in the next 36. Okay, we're going to half double crochet 2 together at the end. Going to turn our work and chain 2. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 38 all the way across. And once you get to the end of the row, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. We're now going to half double crochet 2 together. We're going to half double crochet in the next 34. Then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. Going to turn our work and chain 2. And again, half double crochet in the next 36. So it's just a slow decrease. So we're decreasing one row, and then we're going to half double crochet the next row. Decrease one row, half double crochet the next row. And at the end of each row, we're going to turn and we're going to chain 2. Okay, going to half double crochet 2 together. And then half double crochet in the next 32. Half double crochet 2 together. turn our work and chain 2. Now going to half double crochet in the next 34. Okay, and at the end we'll turn our work and chain 2. Going to half double crochet 2 together, and then half double crochet in the next 30. Okay, half double crochet 2 together, turn our work and chain 2. And now going to half double crochet in the next 32. Okay, we're now going to turn our work and chain 2. Going to half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet in the next 28. And then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. Turn our work and chain 2. Okay, so we're now going to half double crochet in the next 30. And at the end of the row, we're going to turn our work and then chain 2. We're going to half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet in the next 26. And then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. We're going to turn our work and chain 2. Now we're going to half double crochet in the next 28. And at the end of the row, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. And as you can see, there's a nice slow decrease. It's creating that sort of triangular shape. So we're now going to half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet in the next 24. Okay, we're now going to half double crochet 2 together. Going to turn our work and then chain 2. Now going to half double crochet in the next 26. Going to turn our work and chain 2. Now going to half double crochet 2 together, then half double crochet in the next 22. And then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. Going to turn our work and chain 2. Going to half double crochet in the next 24. And at the end of the row, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet 2 together, or half double crochet in the next 20, and then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. We're going to turn our work and chain 2, and we're now going to half double crochet in the next 22. And then we're going to turn our work and chain 2. We're going to half double crochet 2 together and half double crochet in the next 18. And then we're going to half double crochet 2 together, we'll turn our work and then chain 2. We're now going to continue decreasing here, so we're going to half double crochet 2 together and then half double crochet in the next 16. And then we're going to half double crochet 2 together. We're going to turn our work and chain 2 and then go straight into another decrease. So half double crochet 2 together and then half double crocheting in the next 14. Half double crochet 2 together, turn our work and chain 2, and then into another decrease. So half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet in the next 12, and then half double crochet 2 together. Going to turn our work and chain 2, and then half double crochet 2 together, half double crochet in the next 10. So this is the last row here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to end up joining it to the ring. Okay, we're going to half double crochet 2 together, going to turn our work. Okay, so we're going to hold our work there. We've got 12 stitches at the top, so we're going to get our ring, and what we're going to do, we're going to put our hook back in, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet back into those stitches, but we're also going to include the ring in the stitch, like so. It is very fiddly. I think I'm going to go off camera in a second, like so. Give me a second to adjust, and I'm going to single crochet into that stitch there, and then I'm going to pull it through. It's very hard to do this underneath the camera, so you get the idea. We're basically just going around that ring and doing a normal single crochet. It's very fiddly, but you'll get it. Just keep practicing, keep coming back to it. If you need to undo it all and start again, then please do. but you're just basically doing a normal single crochet and then just wrapping it around the ring. Okay, and then that last stitch we're just going to tie off. Okay, so now we've got our tail, and at the end we're going to sew all our feathers onto it. Now we can focus on the body. So as you can see, I've got the sparkly navy blue yarn. So we're going to start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 23. Okay, we're now going to turn our work and half double crochet in the third chain from the hook. We're now going to half double crochet in the next 20. Okay, after this last stitch, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. We're now going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next 19. Okay, I'm going to do 2 half double crochets in that last stitch there. And I'm going to turn our work and chain 2. Okay, so we're now going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip a stitch, and then we're going to half double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do this 10 times. So we're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch. Do that all the way along, chain 1, skip a stitch, half double crochet in the next. So basically making a gap. Okay, and then that final one, creating that last gap there, then we're going to half double crochet in that last stitch at the end. Okay, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. So this is going to be the row where we will introduce you to my favourite stitch, the feather stitch. It's very fitting that we'll be using this for a bird. It looks complicated, but it really isn't. It's mostly about knowing which gaps to go into. So if you're finding this next part hard to follow, especially as I'm using dark wool, please pause the video, and on my YouTube channel you'll find that I have a how to crochet series, and part 9 covers in depth how to crochet a feather stitch. I'm using brighter colours so it is easier to see, so feel free to brush up on your skills there. As I said, it is my favourite stitch, so it is well worth learning in my opinion. So back to row 5, we're going to start by half double crocheting in the next 2 stitches. So the next part is to do 9 feather stitches. So I'm going to just point out the gaps that we're going to be using. The first large gap, the smaller gap directly beneath it, and the next larger gap. So a bit like a triangle. So again, the first large gap, the one directly beneath it, and the one next to it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to show you at a slower pace how to do the feather stitch. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go into that first gap, we're going to yarn over and pull through, and you're drawing up a loop there. So you've got 3 loops on the hook. We're now going to yarn over, insert into that little hole beneath it, yarn over and pull through. So you've got 5 loops on the hook, you're drawing that up. You don't want to work too tightly. Yarn over, insert into that second larger gap, yarn over and pull through. You've got 7 loops on the hook. Going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops on that hook. And we're chaining 1 to finish off that feather stitch. This stitch is a yarn eater, so you can use a lot of yarn. You don't want to work too tightly with it. So we're going to go into that first gap, the one beneath it, and the one to the side. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to yarn over, insert through that first large gap, yarn over and pull through. Going to yarn over and go into the second smaller gap beneath it, yarn over and pull through. 5 loops, yarn over, insert into the second, yarn over, pull through. You've got 7 loops on the hook. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops on the hook. We'll finish the stitch off with a chain 1, like so. I'll show you one more time. And if you are struggling, remember, go and look at my How to Crochet series. It will show you more in depth. It'll be easier to see because the colours are brighter. It's so hard to watch and follow when it's dark yarn that you're using. So we're yarning over in that first one, pulling through, yarn over, going into the second hole beneath it, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, insert into that second larger gap, insert, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through all those loops on the hook, chain 1 to complete. Oops, unless you get caught like I've just done. And then chain 1 to complete. Okay, so that's 3 of your feather stitches done. We got 6 more, so we're going to yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the third, yarn over and pull through. Okay, so once you get the hang of it, it's a very quick stitch once you get into the flow. I appreciate it is quite tricky, it's very fiddly, and you're juggling with feeding a lot of the yarn through. Okay, but it is just such a beautiful stitch. You'll find out later when you've done a few more rows how pretty it is. Okay, so you're just going into those 3 gaps, which should be very easy to see. Now for the next row, it will be harder to see where the gaps are because you haven't got the big gaps that you've made where you've chained 1 and you've skipped the gap. So I'll be with you for the next row as well. Okay. But again, I'll say go and look at my YouTube channel, find the feather stitch tutorial and learn the technique of the feather stitch. Okay, in that 9th feather stitch, we'll just chain 1 to finish that one off. And then we're going to half double crochet in the next 2 stitches at the end there. Okay, we're going to turn our work and chain 2. So again, we're going to half double crochet in those 2 stitches. And now we'll begin to do our next 9 feather stitches. So again, we're going into those 3 holes. Okay, so the first one beneath it, the third one. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert into the second, yarn over, pull through, yarn over into the third, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through all 7 loops and chain 1, yarn over, go into that top one, the second one and third one. So yarn over, insert into the first, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, insert into the second, yarn over and pull through, and yarn over into the third, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 7 loops and chain 1. Okay, I'm going to do that all the way along. Once you get into the swing of it, it's incredibly quick. So with this final feather stitch, we're just going to half double crochet in the next 2 to complete that row. I'm going to chain 2. Okay, we're going to do 7 more rows just like this. And you can see, if you've got a white background, you can see the holes quite clearly there. And you can definitely see the beautiful feather effect coming through. So you just try and find the holes that you're going into first before you start. And you're effectively going over the feather stitch that you made in the previous row. Okay, so we're going to again half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. And then we'll begin our feather stitch. So we're going to do this for 7 more rows. So hopefully by the 13th row, you'll have got the hang of it. And once your 13th row is complete, we'll finish off with a chain 2, ready for the next row. Now you can see it's an absolutely beautiful pattern, beautiful stitch. Okay, we're now going to start to decrease for this row. So we're going to half double crochet 2 together across those 2 stitches. And then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, so basically on top of that first feather stitch. Okay, now we're going to continue and do our normal feather stitches for the next 7. Okay, we're just going to finish off that last feather stitch here. And then we're going to do a half double crochet on that top stitch of that last feather stitch of the previous row. And then we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. Okay, and we're going to turn our work and chain 2. So now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 2. And do a feather stitch in the next 7. Okay, and after doing that last feather stitch, we're then going to do a half double crochet in the next 2. Going to turn our work and chain 2. We're going to decrease again for this row, so we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together. Then we'll do a half double crochet in that top of that feather stitch. We're going to do 5 feather stitches across. Okay, after that last feather stitch, we're going to half double crochet in the next stitch, so just above that last feather stitch. And then we're going to do half double crochet 2 together. I'm going to turn our work and chain 2. Now for the next 2 rows, we're just going to do a half double crochet in the next 2. We're going to do 5 feather stitches across, and then half double crochet in the next 2. So we'll do that for 2 rows. Okay, and on that 18th row, finishing off that last feather stitch there, we'll finish off with a half double crochet in the next 2. Turning our work, we will need to remember to chain 2. I'm just going to show you with the gold ring how it is looking at the moment. So we haven't got that much further to go. We're going to decrease a little bit more to make the neck of the peacock. Okay, so having chained 2, we're going to do a half double crochet 2 together for the next row, then a half double crochet in the next stitch, so the top of that feather stitch. I'm going to do 3 feather stitches for this row. Okay, we're going to half double crochet in that next stitch, and then we'll do a half double crochet 2 together. Turn our work and chain 2. Okay, so for the next 2 rows, we're going to half double crochet in the next 2. And we're going to do feather stitch in the next 3. And then we'll finish off that row with a half double crochet in the next 2. So we'll just do 2 rows of those. Okay, and in this last 21st row, we're going to do a half double crochet in the next 2. We're going to decrease 1 more time for the next row. So turning our work, chaining 2. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet 2 together, then a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we're just doing 1 feather stitch for this row. Okay, going to half double crochet in the next stitch, and then half double crochet 2 together. Going to turn our work and chain 2. So for the next 7 rows, we're going to do this. We're going to half double crochet in the next 2. We're going to do 1 feather stitch. We will then half double crochet in the next 2. Turn our work and then chain 2. So we're going to do this for 6 more rows. Okay, and in this last row, the 29th row, we'll turn and chain 2. Okay, and we're going to bring our ring back into the mix. So you've got 6 stitches on the top of that neck. So like we did with the tail, we're going to single crochet into those stitches whilst also including the ring, just as we did with the tail. Okay, so that body, that neck is now attached to the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet it down the left hand side. So we're going all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and just basically find the stitches where you can see them, just going into those gaps, and that will just neaten up the edge of the body. Okay, now we come to the bottom of that side. We're now going to single crochet in the next 5. Okay, so now we've done those 5, we're now going to single crochet and join into the tail. So we're going to go into the next stitch there. We'll find that first stitch of the top of the tail there. And we're going to connect the 2 with a single crochet. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way along in those 12 stitches. Okay, we're now going to single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Okay, we're now going to turn our work, and we're going to continue and single crochet up the right hand side of the body. Okay, so now we're going to single crochet around the ring, just on its own, like so. We're now going to do 70 chains, and we're going to pull them tight, so you can see that my left hand is sort of pulling it taut. So these chains are very small. It's basically just making a rope or a little hanger. Okay, make sure you get the right length. You want it to be quite high because it's going to go beyond the head, and the head is relatively large, so I estimated about to be 70 chains. You don't have to do this, you could always add a ribbon or whatever you choose, but while I'm working with yarn I might as well use it. Okay, so that is 70 chains there, and then I'm going to go on the other side and do a single crochet to fix that little hanger in place. Okay, And then we'll do a little slip stitch in the nearest stitch there. And then we'll tie off. Okay, so you've got your hanger, so you haven't got to worry about that now. And you've got your body, and you've got your tail. Now we can get started on the crest. So you've got your 2 white pipe cleaners. Now this is going to be quite hard for me to explain, so it might be better just to copy. But what we want to do is we want to create 6 sort of prongs. You can always do it a way that you want to do it as well, or a similar way. But this is how I've managed to create the crest. So you want to sort of keep it tight so you can use the wire within it just to sort of wrap around to keep it fixed in place or secure it. Okay, so we want to use half and half. So here I'm twisting and joining those 2 together. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap that second pipe cleaner around to join at the base. You want them as similar in height as possible, because we're going to crochet at the top of this. Like I said, very fiddly, but if you can get this effect, then it just adds to your peacock. Okay, so that is basically what you want to do. And I'm going to use the top 2 bits to join the 2 together. And we're basically going to connect the 2 on either side, so you can crochet around them. So just bear in mind that obviously the wire in the pipe needs to be sort of facing inwards. You don't want it scratching up your wool. Okay, and that is effectively what you want. Okay, we're now going to crochet over the top part. So we're going to create a slip knot, and we're going to join in this loop here. In the first loop, we're going to single crochet 3 times. Okay, we're now going to single crochet 3 times across that little bridge that we made between the 2. We're going to do 3 single crochets into that second loop. And then we're going to do 3 single crochets in the second bridge. And then 3 single crochets in that third loop. Okay, we're going to turn our work and then chain 2. We're now going to half double crochet in the next stitch, Okay, we're now going to do a bobble stitch in the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over and go through the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. We're going to yarn over, go through the exact same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, going through the same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, through the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. Now you've done that 4 times, so that's why I've put it in brackets, 4 goes in and out. We're going to yarn over, pull through all of those loops on the hook, and you've created like a little bobble. We're going to go straight into the next stitch with a half double crochet, and then we're going to single crochet in the next 3. If you wanted to go over and fine tune your bobble stitch skills, I do have a tutorial on my How to Crochet series, and it is part 9. So we're going to go straight into a half double crochet in the next stitch, and we'll repeat that again. So doing a bobble stitch, yarn over, insert, yarn over, insert, yarn over, yarn over, insert, yarn over, and yarn over, insert, yarn over 4 times. We'll pull that through and we'll complete with a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll do a single crochet in the next 3. Okay, we're now going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do another bobble stitch, so yarn over, insert, yarn over, insert, yarn over, insert, yarn over, insert. So you do that 4 times. Okay, finishing off with a half double crochet in that last stitch there. Pull through. We're going to chain 1. So then we're going to single crochet in each stitch. Okay, we're now going to tie off, and that is your crest complete. Okay, we'll set that aside because now we're going to make the head, and we will attach the crest onto the head. Okay, so in black yarn we're going to start with the eye. So we're going to create a magic ring, and we're going to do 5 single crochets into that magic ring. We're now going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch. Okay, and this last stitch we'll hold it there, and we're going to change to white. Okay, we're now going to slip stitch in the front loops only. Okay, and this last one here, we'll hold it there and complete that slip stitch with the blue sparkle yarn. Okay, we're now going to go in the back loops of the slip stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next. And we'll do that 5 times all the way around. So going into the back loops of the slip stitch, single crocheting in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next, all the way around. Okay, we're going to continue around with the blue sparkle yarn. We're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Do that 5 times all the way around. Okay, I've popped a stitch marker in so we can track the rows. We're now going to single crochet in the next 3, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we're going to do that 5 times all the way around. Okay, we're now going to single crochet in the next 4, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we'll do that 5 times. We're now going to single crochet in the next 5, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we'll do that 5 times all the way around. So we're now going to do single crochet in the next 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and we'll do that 7 times. Okay, so we're now going to half double crochet in the next 3, we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next stitch, we're going to double crochet in the next 2, two double crochets in the next stitch, double crochet in the next 3, two double crochets in the next stitch, we're going to double crochet in the next 2, two half double crochets in the next stitch, half double crochet in the next 3, and we'll finish off this row by single crocheting in the next 25. Okay, so we're now going to start single crocheting, but for this first part we're going to include the crest. Okay, we're just going to bend that excess pipe cleaner out of the way slightly. Okay, and we're going to single crochet into the stitches of the head whilst also including the pipe cleaner, a bit like what we did with the metal ring. Just including that wire, that pipe cleaner. It's a bit fiddly, make sure that we go as close to and in between like so. And you're going in between the two, so it really strengthens the connection. And it should look relatively seamless if all goes to plan. Again, lots more fiddly work, but it's all worth it in the end. Okay, and once we've done this part, we're just single crocheting as normal. No more fiddly bits. Okay, I'm bending that wire out of the way so then we can work it in afterwards. Okay, so now we can just do our normal single crochets all the way round. Okay, we're just going to do a slip stitch and tie off. Okay, we're just going to add a little bit of detail to the eye. So if you've got any excess white yarn from the back, we're just going to add a little glint. So just a couple of stitches in. It just adds a little bit more detail to the eye. Okay, we should tie off these ends and tidy up our work. And that is your peacock head. Okay, we're now going to do the markings for the face. So for the first marking, we're going to do a slip knot and we're going to chain 14. Okay, we're now going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. We're going to slip stitch in the next stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next 3. Half double crochet in the next 3. Single crochet in the next 3. We're now going to slip stitch in the next 2. We're going to tie off. Okay. For the next marking, we're going to do a slip knot. I'm going to do a slightly smaller one. And we're going to chain 11. Okay, we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. Single crochet in the next 2. Half double crochet in the next 4. Single crochet in the next 2. Finish off with a slip stitch and we'll tie off. Okay, now your 2 markings, we'll set those aside and we'll come back to them when we get sewing. Now for the last piece, the beak. So we're going to create a magic ring in the cream yarn and put 6 single crochets into that magic ring. I'm now going to do 2 half double crochets in each stitch. Okay, we're now going to half double crochet in the next stitch, and then do 2 half double crochets in the next, and we'll do that 3 times. And we're now going to single crochet in the next stitch, and then do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and do that 3 times. Okay, we're now going to slip stitch in the next stitch. We're going to turn our work and chain 1. Skip this stitch and slip stitch into that next stitch. We're now going to single crochet in the next 4. We're going to slip stitch in the next stitch, turn our work and chain 1. We're going to skip that stitch again and slip stitch in the next. We're going to single crochet in the next 3. And now slip stitch in that next stitch, turn our work and chain 1. We're going to skip that next stitch, slip stitch in the next one, then we're going to single crochet 2 together, then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Going to turn our work and chain 2. We're going to slip stitch into the second stitch, and now we're going to slip stitch all the way around in the back loops only. Might be hard to find these back loops here, but just slip stitch where you can see them. And this will just make the edge to the beak a bit sharper. Okay, as we're coming up that side there, we're coming back to the point where we were at. So we want to go into that last with a slip stitch. We've just single crocheted into that gap that we created at the beginning of row 7. We're chaining 3. We're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and a half double crochet in the third chain, and we're now going to slip stitch back into the next stitch. Okay, so you've created that point for the beak. We're going to tie off here, and that is your beak. So now we can get sewing. So we're going to start off with the head, and we're going to have the crest pointing on the right hand side. So what we want to do is we basically want to sew the head onto the wire. Just simply sewed onto there, back and forth, like so. If you need more yarn, cut some more yarn. You haven't left yourself with enough. You want to secure it as well as possible because you don't want your head falling off. Okay, once you're happy with that placement there, then we can put the beak on. And with here, you just want to go around that top bit here into the head and then on the frame. So just across there and then a line down the middle where the frame is. Okay, so we'll do the same thing, just in and out, neatly sewing go behind those outer stitches if you can. And again for the beak. We don't want to go too tightly because then you might deform the beak slightly, but just enough to secure it so it isn't going to wobble around. Okay, so now for the markings on the face. Okay, so we'll position the smaller one just underneath the eye. And again, not too tight, otherwise you will end up pulling it out of shape. Okay, and then for the top marking, just do it above the eye. Like so. Okay, and now we've got the head completed, we can now focus on the feathers. We're going to start by placing your larger feathers at the bottom of the tail. And you only need a small amount because you're just going to sew to the very bottom of the tail with the top of the feather. Okay, so just a small amount. We're going to secure in that little sort of triangle space there. You can layer them in this way if you wanted to, or you can lay them the opposite direction. It's up to you, and you can do whichever colour order that you want to. Okay, for the next row, for the larger feathers, we'll layer them on top. You want to go in the same direction. Make sure that you leave enough room at the top for the other two layers. So for the medium, you've got the 4 feathers there. And for the small feathers, you'll be able to fit them just at the top. And now your peacock is ready to be hung up to brighten up your home. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope to be bringing more crocheted wall hangings to you in the coming months. So please subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified when they are released. Please do share with me your finished projects. I'd love to see how you got on. And feel free to share with your fellow crochet lovers or anyone who may wish to learn, as I have a how to crochet series to help them get started. I have lots of other step-by-step tutorials on my channel, so have a look for your next project. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you back here soon. Goodbye.